97% of egg donors choose to remain anonymous. And that was completely out of the question for us. There was absolutely no way we would be doing that, which worked out great because our egg donor, Ariana, also agreed that there is no way she would have stayed anonymous. So dive into this next clip where we both chat about our reasons for keeping the relationship, even though the doctors were so against it. And hey, before we watch that, if you haven't, do me a huge favor. Go listen to her podcast, linked below. It's amazing, and you can get this full episode there. And let's touch on the point that most egg donors, they want to be anonymous. They don't really
Yes.
want to have a connection with their intended parents, which is fine. It's a big responsibility. It's you're opening yourself up to another family essentially. And
Yeah.
one thing you wanted in your profile was to keep that connection. And that was
Mhm.
something we wanted against the guidance of our doctors. The doctors specifically told us, they're like, no, it should be anonymous. And we were like, screw that. Our
Yeah.
daughter's going to know she didn't come from just us. She's going to be a smart cookie when she grows up. So we wanted to keep
Totally.
those doors open, and the fact that you wanted to have a relationship as well, it was just the perfect match.
Yeah, that was a big point for me and something that I found so interesting because as a motivating factor for me to donate, like I wanted to know who the people were that were going to be these parents. And like that to me, hearing the statistic that only 3% of egg donations are known was like mind boggling. Like I was like, what? And of course, that's so great that people are willing to donate and also not be known. Like maybe that's just not a piece that they want, on their plate or in their life or whatever. But I just I feel like if I didn't get to know you and Stefan, then I would be like, "Oh, I don't know." Like it wouldn't feel right to me. And I just feel like it's such a blessing and so special. I feel so privileged to be able to be a part of your journey to parenthood. So thank you for that. But I do think that that value piece, the reason like the that we were on the same wavelength in that regard was a big motivating factor on both sides too.
Yeah, and from the parent perspective about being anonymous, it's I think there might be some deep-seated like competition brewing a little bit because
Mm,
when there is no mom, you might be worried that your child might gravitate to wanting a mom or viewing the egg donor as a mom. So we've been
true.
very diligent in just not using the word mom in our
Yeah.
house. Like our daughter Maya, she's very aware. She has two dads. She doesn't have a mom, but that's okay. She has two dads. That's pretty cool. She has an egg donor. She has a surrogate. And on Mother's Day, we make cards for grandmas. Like our family's just different, and
Yeah.
it works great for us. All right, let me zoom out for 1 second here. There is a weird fact that we figured out. Even if you do choose to stay completely anonymous and cut ties with your egg donor still has to disclose if they have any kids in the future to you, and you have to disclose if you have any kids in the future to them. Now, the reason for this is if those kids happened to live in the same city or meet each other and fall in love, that would be a health issue because like they would be siblings and they cannot fall in love. So you need to make sure you disclose that, and you always know where these kids are at all times. So that's just like kind of crazy and not something I would have ever thought of if I wasn't going through the contract. So keep that in mind. Even if you do choose to be anonymous, you will still need to disclose that information.
Yeah, and I mean, even for me getting to meet her and know her even just a little bit, like she's the happiest girl ever. Like I don't think that she's missing that piece or anything like that either. Like she's so happy to have her two dads and I think the relationship that you guys have with her is just so beautiful and your family is so wonderful. So, I
Aw,
think
thank
that's so cool.
you.
Yeah, of course. And so why then was that important for you to have a known donation and what did that because like you said, like going against what doctors are telling you when you're new into this process, it's you kind of are almost like inclined to listen to everything that somebody in a uniform is saying to you. Like, "Oh, you're the doctor, so okay." And so why did your I feel like it's probably value based for you, but why did that come through as something that you were really adamant about wanting?
Yeah, 100%. For most things, we did listen to the doctors, but this was one thing that was value based for us because when it
Mhm.
comes to family or relationships, we just value honesty. And
Love.
we wanted to keep that door open for Maya. And if she wants a relationship, if she wants to call you up or text you, you guys become BFFs. Like, who knows what it would be, but we wanted to
Yeah.
keep that door open for her. And we think, honestly, as cliche as it is, the best policy is honesty. There's no point in lying because at some point you're going to have to backpedal and tell the truth. And that's just a whole mess you don't want to get into.
I couldn't agree more, even from like a parenting principle. Like that is so important for us in our household too, and being open with our kids and in all aspects. And so where they came from is kind of like a big part of that too. So I just think that that's so incredible that you guys are doing that and making it not be this thing that like we addressed at the beginning can be like shameful for some people. Like it's very I think encouraging that you guys are being so open with her and sharing that with her and I think it will help her through her whole life to really have that trusting relationship with you both.
You guys, how amazing is that? That we met someone like Ariana who wanted to have a relationship not just with us, but also with our daughter Maya, and keep those doors open for her to explore where she came from and the amazing people who helped create her. It's just, when I think about it, we were totally meant to match because our values just aligned so much. Now, in the next video, I chat about what it's like to be a gay dad online and kind of what I have to deal with.